What is up, everybody? Welcome to another I've never done this before video. I've been seeing a lot of guys on Instagram, Matty Bros, he's from Italy, and Dabs Wellington is another one on Instagram who does a good job welding stainless steel plates, like pretty much making artwork out of stainless steel plates, and I wanted to do it. So I went online, found a random website, I don't remember what it was now, I'll link it down below when I figure that out, and ordered a piece of stainless. These are not that cheap, especially when you get them mirrored. So this has got a protective layer on it right now. This side does not, but this is scratched. This is not the side we'll be using. I have never done this before, besides watching one video on Weld.com's YouTube channel that Dabs Wellington was on. That's all I know about it. And then the little time lapses they'll do when they're actually making their art on their Instagram. That's about all I know. On YouTube, he had like a heat sink to absorb some of this heat that we're gonna be putting into this. I don't have that. I'm just gonna clamp it to my table. I don't wanna weld it to my table, so hopefully I can clamp some bars down. You probably wanna know what we're gonna be making. We are going to make the Apex Legends Predator logo. That's a video game. If you don't know it, not familiar with it, no big deal. It looks cool. It actually looks like this. And that's when you receive the badge, and then you can actually use this other badge that looks like this, and that's what you display on your banner. It's probably something I'll never get in the game, but we can make it right here. And this just happens to be a 12 by 12 square piece of stainless. We're gonna put it just like this and make that badge. So let's get going. So I printed off a couple full-size scale templates. That's the main skull and horns part of the logo. This is the colored like banner in the background. This is the border. And then this is some details on the skull. I don't know if it was actually necessary to do these all separate. Realizing now that I'm not going to be able to clamp all the way around like I was picturing because I have to weld so close to the edge, which is why welding it down to a plate would be the best. I just don't want to weld to my table because I don't want to clean it up. It'll never be the same. Probably should get a chunk of steel if I do many more of these, but for this one, we're just going to have to make do with what we have. I'm going to tack it to this piece of steel. I don't know what else to do. I'm afraid it's going to end up all warped if I don't. This is the biggest piece of steel I have in my shop currently, and it just happens to be 12 inches. Not quite. All right, I'm just gonna go for this. I have 3/16 tungsten and a ferric cup with a good amount of stick out, ER 312 16-inch filler rod, and I have my welder set to 70 amps is what I'm gonna start at and see how that works. did overcook this strip. I've turned down my welder to about 50 now and welded up this one, and it turned out really good. So I actually went back over the one I overcooked a little bit, and it looks better, but now we're starting to develop a little bit of oil canning. But I don't know what to do about it right now, so I'm just gonna keep rolling. The only thing I can think of is if you heat that up and hit it real cold, it can suck it together. So maybe when I weld this, it's probably either gonna get better or worse. Okay, problem so far. This 16 gauge stainless I think is too thin. So next time I do this, I will not be getting this thin of stainless. Obviously the thicker you go, the more expensive you go, but I'm already getting a decent amount of wavy oil canning because of the heat. I'm hoping once I pop all these tacks loose that it'll like bounce at least in one direction, but if not, the point of this was a good learning experience, and that's the first thing I've learned. Second thing is I'm definitely gonna need a thicker heat sink or backing plate next time, and one that is wide enough to be able to be tacked and welded, stitch welded all the way around, because I have been constantly breaking these tacks and having to go back and re-weld them. The reason I didn't want to do it too much is because I wasn't really planning on putting a border around this, and I want to be able to clean these up and not have them be noticed. But now we're going to start in on the main part of the skull and horns. And there it is, my Apex Legends Predator badge. Probably the only way I'm ever gonna get one of these badges, because I'm not good enough at Apex Legends. But I'm really happy with how this turned out, how it looks. I think it'll look cool on the wall. If you don't know what one of these stainless steel art pieces is supposed to look like, the curves and the warping might not even bother you because it is pretty uniform. But since we do know how they are supposed to look and they're supposed to be flat, if you know of a place that is a good website to order pre-cut stainless steel sheets in different finishes, 1/8 inch thick or more, let me know. Let me know down in the comments. Maybe you'll help me out. Hopefully you'll help other people out. I'm also gonna obviously get a thicker heat sink that I can tack this to all the way around. That will help in the future. But as far as this video goes, that's it. So if you liked it, I hope you give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. If you're new to the channel, I hope you subscribe and stick around, and I'll see you in the next one.